Let's have problem number 2. San Sebastian College hires a new dean for their Canlubang Laguna campus. The contract states that if the new dean works for 10 years, then he will receive a retirement benefit of 80,000 at the end of each quarter period for 5 years. Find the lump sum that the college could deposit today to satisfy the retirement contract if fund can be invested at 12% compounded quarterly. Let's start identifying the given. What will be the R? How much will the dean receive?
80,000.
Very good. That is 80,000. The next one. What is RJ? What's the nominal interest?
15%.
What's RJ? Check again. Nominal interest.
0.12.
Okay, 0.12, or that's 12%. How many compounding periods per year?
4.
4. So what will be our I? What's the periodic interest rate?
0.03.
So it's 0.12 divided by 4. That's 0.03. Now, for how long? For how long will the person receive it?
5 years.
5 years. And what's the 10 years there? Actually, it's just a dummy number. It only tells you that the dean will work for 10 years. So how many payments will there be?
20.
20,
ma'am.
times 4, 20. Very good. Remember that the question is find the lump sum. How much should, what do you mean by lump sum? It means one-time payment. How much should be the one-time payment today so that the person will receive that amount in the future? So we're looking for the present value. Start memorizing the formula. That will be 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of negative n over I. There's R outside, sorry. Keep on forgetting R. 80,000 times 1 minus 1 plus 0.03 to the power of negative 20 all over 0.03. How much should a college deposit today? Any answer? What's the answer? Any answers?
1,190,197.99.
Very good. This is present value. This is what the college needs in order for that dean to receive. However, if we see this amount will be deposited, this must be the starting amount upon retirement. If the college will start placing it today, the dean will still have 10 years. 10 years to, what's this? 10 years to save. So that for 10 years, the amount is also increasing by 12%, compounded quarter. We will use the compound interest, present value. That will be P equals F times 1 plus I to the power of negative. The future value of 1,190,197.99. Multiply it by 1 plus I to the power of negative 40. Why negative 40? That's 10 years times 4 times negative. So means that the school will just give 364,863.34. Here, let me have you the diagram. If the school will place 364,863.34 in 10 years time, upon retirement, that amount will result into 1,190,197.99, which the dean will now have for 5 years in installment with 80,000 every quarter. Any questions? Okay, no other questions? Let's go to the next type of problem. The next type of problem is when we are looking for the periodic payment. Remember that our periodic payment is the R, and R can be derived from these first two formulas. How do we derive it? For example, in the first formula, we want R to remain, so you divide both by this one. That's why the formula of R is future value over 1 plus I to the power of n minus 1. Or if you're looking, the given is the present value, we divide it by this one. 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of negative n. The I is with the numerator, with the S or with the A, because we cross multiply them. Let's start with the next problem. We're down to the last two problems before we end today's class. Okay, let's have this problem. To accumulate 85,250 pesos, Amy Antonis needs to place equal deposits at the end of every 3 months in a fund which earns at 18% compounded quarterly. If the first deposit is made on March 28, 2014, and the last on March 28, 2020, how large should each deposit be? Now, what is this 85,250? What is that 85,250?
Future value.
Very good. To accumulate, future tense. So this will be our future value, S of n. Next, what will be our J? What's our J? Nominal interest, 0.18. What is our M? How many compounding periods are there?
4.
4. It's compounded quarterly. So what is our I, our periodic interest? What's our I?
0.045.
Very good. 0.045. That's 0.18 divided by 4. Next, T. How long? How long is the term?
6 years.
6 years, ma'am.
Very good, 6 years. So how many payments will there be?
24.
You're good at 6
24.
times 4, 24. But then here, you start from March 28 and then the last in 2020. It means that the fourth year ends before March, right? So since you make another payment from March 28, then that will be plus 1. Here is my diagram. This is March 28, 2014, 2015, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. But you need to make another payment here. So plus another quarter. That's plus 1. So you'll have 25 payments. Now we are asking how much? How large should each deposit be? How much must be deposited every quarter? So we're looking for the regular payment given S sub n, given our future value. So we have S sub n times I over 1 plus I to the power of n minus 1. Am I correct? I think so.
Yes. It's correct.
No. That's 85,250 times I all over 1 plus I to the power of n minus 1. Now, how much is the regular deposit? How much is a regular deposit?
1,912.93.
Very good. That's 1,912.93. So it means that every quarter you will save 1,119.93. You do that for 6 years and 1 quarter, and you will have 85,250. You know what? It's wise because if you will save in your piggy bank, you will just multiply this one by 25. It will never get to 85,250. So try thinking of your savings now. Let's go to the last problem for today's session. Here. Armando Antonis sold a piece of property for 1.3 million. A down payment of 500,000 was made, and the remainder was to be repaid in equal quarter installments. The first due 3 months after the date of sale. The interest was 15% compounded quarterly, and the debt was to be amortized in 7 years. If you say amortized, it means amortization. It will be paid in installments for 7 years. Now, the first question, what quarterly payment is required? So we're looking for the periodic payment. Now, what is here? Wait first. What will be our present value? What's the present value? How much was the loan?
1.3 million.
That's the original, but you made a down payment of 500,000. So how much is the loan?
$800,000, ma'am.
Very good, 800,000. Again, be very careful when there are down payments. You need to subtract them from the total cash price. This is the cash price minus the down payment. Now, what is our nominal interest?
15%.
15%. Is it 0.15? How many compounding periods in a year?
4.
4. So what will be our periodic interest rate?
0.0375.
375. Very good. Now, for how many years will that be paid?
7.
7.
7. So how many payments will there be in all?
28.
28. That is 4 times 7. So let's solve for our quarterly payment given our present value. But 1 now. 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of negative n. That will be 800,000 times I one minus 1 plus I, the power of negative n. When the given is the present value, your exponent is negative. So how much should be the periodic payment?
$46,636.33.
46,000 again.
46,636.32.
32. That's it. So that will be the regular payment. The next question, what will be the total amount of payment? So if you're paying this amount for 7 years, every quarter, how much will you pay in all? You multiply these to 28 payments, right? Because there are 28 payments. How much will be your total payment?
1,305,816.96.
Sorry, saba kayo. May sa gawas.
Sabak
1
and dump truck,
million,
ma'am.
again,
Sabak and dump truck.
lagi, saba kayo dump truck sa gawas. So 1,305,816.96. Oh, there, you compare it. Your loan was only 800,000, right? But in 7 years, you paid this much. You still need to add your down payment, right? Because you made a down payment. Next, letter C. How much interest will be paid? How much interest did you pay? It's 1.3 million minus 800,000. That will be 505,816.96. This is the amount of money you are paying for interest alone. That's why it's not so advisable to loan so big amounts. And the last question, what is the total cost of the property? For 7 years, you are paying 1.3. And then, remember you have paid 500,000 down payment, right? So, in 7 years, you have spent 1,805,816.90 pesos for that piece of property. What's my piece of advice? Practical application number 1. Before you make any loan, you need to compute how much should I pay for the interest. You see, your loan is only 800,000, but you paid 505,000 for the interest. So think again before you make any loan. Lesson number 2. If you want to resell your property, do not resell it lower than this. It could either be break even or you need to go premium. Do not settle for, they call it discount, if you sell it at a lower price. Any questions? No questions?
No,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am.
Okay.